Hello all and welcome back to the Quad Life. Sorry I did not get a video out last week. It was a very busy week and we just did not have time to get to it. And this week was turning out to be the same, but thankfully I'm recording it now and I'm assuming that you'll actually see this on Friday when it comes out. So it's a beautiful day here in Iowa, as Mr. Rogers would have said. So that's why I'm out here recording and hear the birds in the background, and it's a nice, beautiful blue skies and green trees again. But part of what I was doing last week is an annual event that is called the Tulip Festival. And for the last 7 or so years, I volunteered at a gospel outreach event. So several other volunteers, I think there were about 50 of us this year, go out around town when there's about, let's say, it can be up to 250,000 people that visit. And we give out gospel tracts, and as time or occasions permit, then we have gospel conversations of that, we have all sinned and fallen short of God's glory by lying or using God's name in vain, having impure thoughts such as with lust or with hate or that kind of thing, and that we need to turn to God alone for forgiveness of sins. So that's what we plan to do. But for the 3 days of the event, unfortunately, the weather was not like this. So for the first day, it ended up raining a lot, and one of the parades got canceled. So it ended up the other volunteers and I, during the day anyway, did not go out and get to talk to anyone. On Friday was a pretty nice day, similar to this. So we did get to go out around town a little bit, but we had more events at the church we were working at, so I didn't get to go out and talk to many people. And Saturday, the final day, was again cold and cloudy. I think when I got back to my house, my thermostat read that it was like 55 or so degrees Fahrenheit, and it was all cloudy, so kind of chilly. But part of that day was not just because of the weather. I don't charge my chair every night, and I just kind of look at the battery meter and see what it says of when I need to charge it. And Friday, I didn't think about it. I completely forgot to charge it. And on Saturday, I was listening to one of the very interesting messages that we had in the morning, and looking down, I saw that my battery meter on my chair here said it was only half full, or 50%. I'm like, well, the last 2 days, I've gone from 80% down to 50%. So I should be okay today, just be careful. So I drove around church a little bit, doing different things, but try to be conservative in my movements. But when we got down at church, then I went down the street about 3 blocks or so, I'd say, to find lunch, which ended up being strawberry funnel cake, which that is not very nutritious for lunch, but I only do it once a year, so I figure it's alright for that. But I sat by a picnic table beside one, and as I was eating, I looked down at my controls again, and it said 0% for power. And a message on the bottom that I think I've only seen once before. It said recharge batteries. Like, oh great. So there we were, my caregiver and I, and several blocks away from where the van was, and crowds of people. Well, of course, we made a good situation. We finished our funnel cake. got to have energy to move things. And on Saturday, I had my younger caregiver, who's a college intern. And when she's not in class, she's doing soccer. So does weightlifting and all kinds of various exercises of sorts. And said, well, she hadn't done her weights for the day yet. And, well, she got it. With me in my chair, I'm over 500 pounds. And so first we pushed through several throngs of people. But that only lasted about a block or so. And then went 3 blocks or about back to the church. Gathered a few of my books that I had left over that I was selling, that my fellow volunteers were interested in. And I tried sitting out for a while at a prayer booth that we had set up by church. And it wasn't my assigned station for the afternoon, but figured, hey, I can sit here and offer prayer for anyone that wants. But after about 5 minutes, the cold air was really getting to me. Even though I had on jeans and long sleeve shirt, it was more than I could do. So we ended up going back to the van, which was another 2 or 3 blocks, I guess. And she got me pushed into the lift for the van, and I managed to get enough power after my chair had been off for a while to drive back in. Sorry about that. The neighbor's dog apparently is barking at birds or something. So that was my experience of being out. It was my fault that I did not charge my chair, and I felt kind of bad. But unfortunately, that's part of living the quad life. You got to remember to take care of your legs and make sure that they have power. But that's why I wasn't on last week. Just did not have time. And by the time you see this, I will have had my final school of the year, grade school at least. And as you watch this, I will likely be leading a meeting. And so it's another busy week, but it's that time of year. So looks like Barker is continuing, so I will end it at that. But thank you for watching, and have a good day. Bye for now.